The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. You have passed through life without an opponent. No one can ever know what you are capable of, not even you. Consider that as the heaps of sand piled on one another hide the former sands. So in life, the events which go before are soon covered by those which come after. We are waves of the same sea, leaves of the same tree, flowers of the same garden. Here is the rule to remember in the future. When anything tempts you to be bitter, not, "This is a misfortune," but to bear this worthily is good fortune. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. It's unfortunate that this has happened. No, it's fortunate that this has happened, and I've remained unharmed by it. Not shattered by the present or frightened of the future. It could have happened to anyone, but not everyone could have remained unharmed by it. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We've been using them not because we needed them, but because we had them. It stares you in the face. No role is so well suited to philosophy as the one you happen to be in right now. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters, so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Is any man afraid of change? What can take place without change? What then is more pleasing or more suitable to the universal nature? And can you take a hot bath, unless the wood for the fire undergoes a change? And can you be nourished, unless the food undergoes a change? And can anything else that is useful be accomplished without change? Do you not see then that for yourself, also to change is just the same, and equally necessary for the universal nature? If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Do good to my fellow creatures and bear with them. If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change. For I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed. It is the person who continues in his self-deception and ignorance who is harmed. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Other people's views and troubles can be contagious. Don't sabotage yourself by unwittingly adopting negative, unproductive attitudes through your associations with others. Nothing to my way of thinking is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company. If you apply yourself to the task before you, following the right reason seriously, vigorously, calmly, without allowing anything else to distract you, but keeping your divine part pure, as if you might be bound to give it back immediately. If you hold this, expecting nothing, fearing nothing, but satisfied with your present activities according to nature, and with heroic truth in every word and sound which you utter, you will live happily. And there is no man who is able to prevent this. When you're alone, you should call this condition tranquility and freedom, and think of yourself like the gods. And when you are with many, you shouldn't call it a crowd, or trouble, or uneasiness, but festival and company, and contentedly accept it. Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions. Yes, you can. If you do everything as if it were the last thing you were doing in your life, and stop being aimless. Stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you. Stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable. You see how few things you have to do to live a satisfying and reverent life. If you can manage this, that's all even the gods can ask of you. It's ruinous for the soul to be anxious about the future, and miserable in advance of misery, engulfed by anxiety that the things it desires might remain its own until the very end. For such a soul will never be at rest. By longing for things to come, it will lose the ability to enjoy present things. Don't let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. Don't fill your mind with all the bad things that might still happen. Stay focused on the present situation and ask yourself why it's so unbearable and can't be survived. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Think constantly on the changes of the elements into each other. For such thoughts wash away the dust of earthly life. Because to me, the present is a chance for the exercise of rational virtue, civic virtue. In short, the art that men share with gods. Both treat whatever happens as wholly natural. Not novel or hard to deal with, but familiar and easily handled. So you were born to feel nice. Instead of doing things and experiencing them, don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders and bees going about their individual task, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being. Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands?